Welcome to Brilliantly British. Today we're going to be making apple crumble, a classic British dessert, in two different ways, one with clotted cream, one with custard. You can make the decision yourselves at home which one of these is your favorite by trying this out for yourselves. Enjoy. So the ingredients that you can see in front of me here are what we will need for today's apple crumble. So for the crumble itself, we will be using some ginger nut biscuits to make it a bit special, plain white flour, butter, and white sugar. Then for the filling itself, you will be using some apples, cinnamon, brown sugar, and apple cider vinegar. For the custard, there will be accompanying the crumble, some heavy cream, white sugar, and we'll be needing 4 egg yolks. And then the alternative to the custard will be some homemade clotted cream. To start ourselves off with the crumble mix, I've put 2 ginger nut biscuits in this mortar here, and then we're just going to grind that until it's relatively smooth. After adding the ginger nut biscuits, the crushed ginger nut biscuits to the flour, we're then going to add our sugar. It's always important to mix the dry ingredients first. Now we're going to incorporate the butter into this mixture. Now the best thing to do is to work as quickly as you can because we want the butter to remain as cold as possible. So we're just going to go straight in there, and you want to be working with your fingertips because that's the coolest part of your hands. And you just want to pick up the butter and flake this through. Our crumble mix is ready, and just to show you what the kind of consistency you're looking for is, we're not after perfection here. We're after, well, I can't describe this. It just has to be rough, some smooth, some large clumps, but it definitely mustn't be completely smooth. This is what will make it have the great texture that apple crumble is known for. Starting off with the filling for this apple crumble, we will need to peel the apples and core them, like so. Cut the apples into quarters, and then each quarter remove the cores and drop these into the water. We've peeled the apples and cored them, and now we're going to put all 4 of these ingredients into a pan and cook them down. To the apples, we've added the brown sugar, apple cider vinegar, and the cinnamon. We're just going to mix that together before putting the lid on to cook them until they've softened. The apples are now cooked, and we're going to take them back to the counter. We're going to take a quarter of these cooked apples and we're going to blend them. This will help us to form a rich, sweet compote, which will add texture and another dimension to the actual filling of the crumble. We've mixed together the apple compote, the cooked apples, and we've also added some of the residual juice from when the apples cooked in the pan. And this is the kind of texture and consistency you should be looking for. So we have both of the components here, and now we're going to assemble the apple crumble. Whilst doing this, make sure your oven is preheating. And first and foremost, what will go in is the filling. Now we're going to top this with our crumble. My earliest memories, and this will probably resonate with a lot of people in the UK, of apple crumble. I think I remember having a lot in primary school. In the UK, most people went to school and had school dinners, and this was one of the regular things that all of us, unless you just didn't like apples, all of us looked forward to. Keep the crumbs when you put them on top nice and loose. Do not pat them down because we want this to have some texture. We've now assembled the apple crumble, and this is ready to go into a preheated oven until you see the sides around the crumble's topping start to bubble and boil. Then you'll know this is ready. And also a good indication as well is when this has become golden and crispy and crunchy. Then you'll know it's ready to take out and leave on the side to rest whilst you make the accompaniments to eat with this. In my hand right here, I have clotted cream. Clotted cream is famous from the Cornish region of the UK, and it is a rich, thick, velvety accompaniment to most hot, sweet dishes in the UK. If you're unable to get hold of some, don't worry about it, because I am actually about to show you how to make it yourselves at home. And I'm also going to show you how to make a lactose-free version of it as well. To start with, you will need to just simply pour some heavy cream into a ramekin, like so. And alternatively, if you are making the lactose-free version of this, do the same. Now, we're going to put these into a preheated oven for 10 to 12 hours. Yes, I am not joking, 10 to 12 hours. Don't open the oven, don't shake the oven, don't disturb the oven, because what will need to happen is that the heat in these period of time will need to set the cream and cause the fat to rise to the surface. And this is simply how you make clotted cream. Now, they need to be left alone until they cool down to room temperature. And once they've cooled down to room temperature, you then need to put them in the fridge. The clotted cream has been in the fridge for several hours now and has cooled down thoroughly. It's relatively hard and solid on top. Now, what you will have noticed is that there will be a load of liquid that will have settled towards the bottom. We don't want that. It's the fat layer on top that is the clotted cream, and that is what we want. Okay. This is what it should look like once it's done and has been potted. So now we're going to start making the custard, and the first thing to do is to start to heat up the cream. Whilst we heat up the cream, we're now going to make the base for this custard, which involves the separating of 4 egg yolks and then adding the sugar to those egg yolks and whisking those together until everything is homogeneous. We're now going to do something called tempering, and that involves slowly adding the hot cream to the egg and sugar mixture. And what this will do is ensure that the eggs are not shocked by the heat and don't scramble. So we just add this gradually, whisking all the time. We then pour the mixture into the pot to then cook this off and thicken it. On a medium to low heat now, we're just gonna stir this very gently. It's very important to constantly stir custard because it has a tendency to scramble because of the eggs. As the custard slowly begins to cook, you'll see that the froth on top slowly will start to disappear. This is a sign that the custard is almost cooked. When you're able to form a line that remains on the spatula, you'll know that your custard is ready. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here we have it. An apple crumble with clotted cream and custard. We're now going to dish this. This looks fantastic. There we have it. Apple crumble, 2 ways, one with custard, one with clotted cream. And just like in my previous videos, I'm going to try both of them to inspire some jealousy within you and also to give you the verdict in terms of which one of these is my favorite. Without much further ado, let's start with the custard variation. Okay, good crunch. This is just what I hoped it would be. And for every British person watching this, you will understand what is going on right here. For those of you that have never tried this before, I hope this inspires you to go ahead and make this dish yourselves. Well, just a little bit more. the clotted cream. First of all, get some clotted cream on your spoon. Then get some crumble on your spoon. Close your eyes, make a wish, and this, for me, tops the custard. I'm a lover of all things rich and creamy and thick, and clotted cream just ticks all of those boxes. It's so fulfilling, so fulfilling. And for those of you that haven't had anything like this before, then go out and find where to buy this or make this yourselves. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you haven't seen any of the other videos that I've made, do that right now and check them out. Otherwise, thank you very much and look forward to seeing you next time.